Hey, folks. Sorry, this is the second time this has happened to me. Looks like I can't go live, and then I have to go back to the original page and start all over. So I'm just going to stand by here until a couple of folks chime in. All right. Know when you are here. Don't know what the heck's going on with that, but this is getting old, guys. Might be me. Uh, hey, Chris, thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Hopefully, we'll get a couple of more people to come over. I'm going to quit scheduling these lives and posting it, and just start posting notes to let people know that I'm going to be here. Looks like I'm having a software problem when I schedule a an event, so I'm just going to have to pop up like I did the other night and start talking. So looks like David joined us. Appreciate it, David. I'm glad you're here. Chris, thank you, buddy. The 5x5 report's great. So hopefully a few more folks will step in here and we'll get on with this thing. But until then, just, make a couple of comments. Saw on the news today that Joe Biden has a 38% approval rating. I want to know who those 38% people are. Damn, do they live off the government? Just straight up off the government? This is ridiculous. 38% of the people think he's doing a good job. I think those were probably the people that were my supervisors on the police department back in the day. They were all a bunch of morons anyway. But hey, got my Scottish apple juice here. If you don't have a Scottish apple tree, you really need to get one. That's some great juice on it. Wow, $5 for gas in West Virginia. That's a mess right there. 86 degrees in Southwest Pennsylvania. I know that's hard on you folks, but down here in Florida, I think today it was 96 degrees here in Orlando, or maybe even hotter than that. I'm not sure. Uh, I know it was hot. It was damn hot. I got out and cut my grass early this morning at 5:09. Wow, where you at, Chris? Let us know where you at there, so I can let people know. Uh, Hopefully, we'll get some more folks in here. Looks like we got just a few right now, but uh, can't believe that happened. Let me turn that phone off. That's crazy. All right, sorry about that, guys. Tammy Joe, glad you made it over. I know you were on the original feed. I don't know what's going on with that. It's ridiculous that whenever I schedule an event, I can't bring it up on my computer. I can schedule it, I can have it ready to go, I can advertise it, but then when it's time to go, I just can't get it up. It just won't run. I don't know. Uh, but we got a few folks in here. Hopefully, I'll be able to help you guys out with a little information. First thing I wanted to talk about tonight is the problem with the banking systems that we're having with the cards. You can't get your credit cards or your debit cards to work. Seems like it's happening more often around the country. And uh, I mean, I personally believe it's a hack. I know it's not, our government doing it, because the last thing they want is for that system to fail. They want us to be a totally cashless society where all you got to do is stick a card in the machine there and you can make a purchase. Well, that's why I really don't think it's anybody within our government that's doing this. It has to work for them to be able to do away with cash completely. And the reason they want to do that is so they don't have to print those trillions and trillions of dollars to create debt. They can just say, okay, this is the number. That's the one we're going to put in the system, and we're good until we hit that number. They could say, okay, $100 trillion is where we start getting in the hole. But I know it's a problem for you and me, You really need to have a little extra cash on hand whenever you go somewhere. Uh, it's hard to keep cash, especially nowadays in certain parts of the country. You don't know if you're going to be safe with it or not, but you got to do it. I mean, with the problem with the cards that we're having now, Bank of America went down last week, and Chase went down last week. You couldn't use your cards from those banks, which created a terrible problem. There were millions of transactions across the country that couldn't be completed because of that. But, they got it back together. Hopefully it was just a glitch in their system. But if that's what it is, they need to work it out before we go to a totally cashless society. That's just not going to work. If I got a card, you tell me I can't carry cash. I have to carry this card to make a purchase, and then it don't work. No, that's just not going to cut it with me. But who knows? We don't have any say so in this, unless we just start raising hell. Which brings me to my second topic tonight, which is the Second Amendment. I mean, we all know that they're trying to overturn the Second Amendment. The current administration is doing all they can to overturn that Second Amendment, but they're not going to be able to do it. They don't realize how difficult it is. I really think these people don't know how difficult it is to overturn an amendment in the Constitution. I mean, I hate to have to go through this. So most of you probably know it. Maybe one or two of you don't. But to overturn the Second Amendment, they have to have 2/3 of the House of Representatives and the Senate just to bring it up, just to vote on it. They have to have that, because you can't just say, no, we're going to do away with this amendment. They have to create a new amendment. And Article 5 of the Constitution spells that out for them. But if they do get those numbers, 2/3 of each house in the Congress, that's 67 senators and 290 members of the House of Representatives, then they have to get 37 states to ratify that. It's not as easy as saying, okay, we're going to vote against this and it's going to go away. No, it don't work that way. 37 states have to ratify an amendment to the Constitution that would nullify the Second Amendment. And they're not going to get that. Right now, there's 25 constitutional carry states. I live in Florida. There should be 26, because back in the day when they started with this carry permit stuff, Florida was the first state to get that ball rolling. So we should be ahead of everybody else in this constitutional carry situation. But instead, we have so many rhinos in our state legislatures. They just keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it. It's pissing me off. But I really don't think if they try to overturn the Second Amendment, they're going to get Florida to ratify it. I think the people here would vote against that, or actually express enough hatred for it to our legislatures that they would never pass it. I don't think it'll ever get there. I really don't. This new law they're trying to push through now, where you have these red flag laws and, nationwide. I can sit right here right now and tell you I was a victim of a red flag laws. I'm a victim of the red flag laws. Back in 2008, I went through a divorce. My wife wanted our house. So she went and stood in front of a judge and said that I was a threat to myself and a threat to her, and got a restraining order. Well, here in the state of Florida, that's all it takes to take every weapon out of the house. Got to get a hit, guys. Sorry, my throat's dry. And I lost my entire gun collection. The police come in with their order of protection. They served it on me. I'm sitting there eating a sandwich. I'm having a lunch. They hand me this order and say, hey, we got to take all your guns. what are you going to do? I called my lawyer right away. He said, just turn them over. That's the law right now. Turn those guns over, and when all this is over, you'll get them back. So I did. And I couldn't get them back until the divorce was final. Now, here's where the red flag law screws everybody who really hasn't done anything wrong. And you have to wait for this thing to play out in court. It took 6 months for my divorce to be final. The day after that, I get an order from the court telling them to release my weapons to me. They're my weapons. One of which was my service weapon when I was on the police department. When I retired, I got to keep my weapon. Get that order from the court, take it to the police station where my guns are supposed to be in the property room, and my guns aren't there. They released them to my wife, 2 months, my ex-wife, 2 months before that. So all of my weapons are gone. My ex-wife has them. I contact her. You know what she said? Somebody stole them from me. Right. She sold them. I know what she did with them. She lied. I lose all of my weapons, including my service weapon from when I was on the police department and one other special weapon that I had. But they're gone. There's nothing I can do about it. So we need to make sure to call our congressmen, our senators, and make sure that this national red flag law is not pushed through. It's going to be terrible. There are cases, what do they say? If one, in a legal system, if one innocent person is prosecuted and 10 guilty people are prosecuted, it's not worth that one person. Here I am. I was innocent. And they take my guns away from me because she said this happened. I was a danger to myself. I was a danger to her. Those people didn't know me. They didn't care. I even told the police officers, hey, I'm a retired police officer. That's my service weapon. They didn't care. I'm going to leave that right there. We just got to make sure that our senators and our congressmen don't vote for that law, which they can do without turning over the Second Amendment. So that's a lot easier than turning over that Second Amendment. So we got to make sure we stay on top of them. Another topic I want to get into here tonight is the inflation problem. The federal government says that our inflation rate is 8.6%. That's a CPI. But that don't include the food you buy or the fuel you buy. You want to know what's in that consumer price index? Refrigerators, stoves, dishwashers, books, magazines. How often do you buy those things? And then compare that to how often you buy food or how often you buy gas. It's rigged. It's all fixed. 8.6 is bullshit. Sorry, I used that word. Sorry, Lady Prepper, I used that word. But we all know it. Our inflation rate's probably about 22 or 24%, somewhere up in there. All right, anybody got any questions here? I'm rambling on, not looking at the screen, which is over here. And Chris, 8.5 is bullshit. Damn right it is. You're damn right it is. Another problem we have as far as our food and our fuel is the supply chain. Supply chain is a mess. It's been a mess for over a year, and it still is. Our biggest problem with the supply chain right now, though, is a lack of moving products and a lack of products going from farm to the food producers, which they can't produce what they don't have. And what they do produce, they can't move it because there's no trucks out there moving it. Uh, Diesel fuel's too high. Guys can't make money hauling freight anymore. They just can't do it. Their rig breaks down. It takes them 6, 8 months to get a part. That's ridiculous. They're out of business for that time. By the time they get back to work and they're able to move those products around, the price has gotten even higher. It's ridiculous. Excuse me, folks. But we got to get all this kind of rounded up and get it under control. We have to. We know where the problem is. You got to step up and take care of that on your level. That voting booth is where we make a difference. People in charge right now, they don't care. They don't care about me and you, not one bit. You know, food's costing you more every day. Fuel's costing you more every day. They don't care. They're out of touch. They don't shop. They don't drive cars and buy fuel. Most of them are, carted around in limousines. They have somebody do their shopping for them. They don't care. They have no idea what you and I are doing, what we're having to pay every day. But hey, that's for another day. You know what you got to do. Do it. It's an election year. Do what you got to do. Another big problem we're having is plant closures, food plants. Since April of 21, there's been 100 food processing plants or farms shut down for one reason or another. Just this past weekend on Saturday, Smithfield Farms, which is one of the biggest pork producers in the world, shut down their California plant because they can't afford to operate there. They had to shut it down. They say they're going to move it. Hope they do and get it open up again soon. But, our food is getting to the point to where it's just ridiculous. And just today, forgot to mention this. Just today, a food plant in Wisconsin, I think it was Fiesta Foods was the name of it, burned to the ground. One of the biggest producers of like handheld foods, pizzas, Hot Pockets, stuff like that, one of the biggest in the world. And it shut down today due to fire. 100 plants in 14 months is not a coincidence. Got to be careful what I say here. Thank you, Lady Prepper, for the ice. Got to be careful what I say here because they'll shut me off. I posted a live video on Friday, Saturday morning, boom, it was gone. Thank goodness a few of you got to see it before it was taken down. But, this 100 plants in 14 months, there's no way. And then on top of that, you have the farmers who are having problems due to the drought in the Midwest and the Southwest, growing crops. I think there are several farmers, their yield this year, I saw a report that said their yield this year is about 50% of previous years. So not only are the processors not there to produce them, when they do take them to a plant to be produced, it's only 50% of what we had in the past, which does what? Boom, price jacks up, goes through the roof. It's just getting worse and worse every day. Want to give a shout out to Southern Prepper One. If you don't go to his channel, if you don't watch his channel on YouTube, you really need to. Dave has developed a tremendous network of people that are sending him information every day about the shortages in various industries across this country. It's widespread. It's all over the nation. Medical supplies. People can't get the medical treatment they need. Auto parts, computer chips, and it goes on and on and on. Air conditioning. It's tremendous. The kind of shortages we have in this country right now. What is that? People are saying Mad Max is coming. What do you think? Matt, you never know. I mean, what's the old saying in the prepper world? We're 9 meals away from anarchy. And that's probably true. People don't get to eat for 2 or 3 days. They start getting violent, and they're going to do what they have to do to eat. Can't blame them. You know, you need to have a network of people right there wherever your stores are. You need to have a network of people there to defend them. Because if it does get that bad, they're going to be knocking on your door, knocking in your windows. But hey, who am I? I might be wrong. I might be wrong about all of this. Here you go. This is to you guys. We got to get ready for it. It's not getting any better. It's only getting worse. Prices keep going up. Shortages keep popping up. You go to the grocery store, you'll see not only is baby formula short, now meats are getting short, canned goods are getting short. There's not enough metal to can foods. There's not enough food to be processed to put in the few cans they have. It's only getting worse. Do what you have to do to get ready for what's coming. Yep, Southern Prepper One is great. He's a good guy. Dave's a good guy. He stays on top of the ball. He knows what's happening. And like I said, he's developed that great network of people that report to him every day. So you need to go over there and check him out. It's called Boots on the Ground. Any video you see over there with the title Boots on the Ground, watch it. With that, I think I'm going to get out of here. You guys I appreciate you coming over. I promise you the next time I schedule one of these, it will not be late. It will not. I promise. This is the second time this has happened in the 3 times I've posted live. But it's not going to happen again. Dry dog food has doubled in price. Actually, we have our dog food sent in. It's renewed every month. The price has stayed the same so far. I think the bag got smaller this month, though. So that's another thing they got going called shrinkflation. They're raising the price and lowering the amount of product in the packaging. You need to look out for that. Chris, Maggie, Fluffy, I appreciate you guys being here. Everybody that's here, I appreciate you being here. Just wanted to drop in and say, hey, get ready for what's coming. Start storing that food. If you have the ability to store fuel, do that as well. Get you an alternative source for power. These rolling blackouts they got coming across the country nowadays, they already started in the West and Southwest. They're going to be shutting your power down. Hopefully it'll never happen here. I think Florida's in good shape. And as far as I know, the Northeast is in good shape. So hopefully it'll stay that way. But just in case, get you a backup power source. Make sure you got lights. Make sure you got candles. Get you a little solar generator. Something to run, your essentials when the lights go out. So with that, I'm going to say, come back and see me next Monday night. I promise at 8 o'clock, you go to my channel, you'll see a link there for a live broadcast, and it will happen right there. I promise. With that, I'm going to say Orlando Prepper is out for the night. Pray for our country. Pray for the people in Eastern Europe that are victims of this war. The Orlando Prepper is out.